But ready or not, the future is pulling what is happening forward. And our minds are automatically predicting future consequences and subsequently are contributing to their creation. Let me share some headlines of what is happening in the world. California wildfires ravage the environment. 400 civilians die in an Iraqi bomb attack. Global warming scientists warn that the ice caps are melting. The Madrid terrorist bombers are convicted of mass murder. A powerful bomb ripped through a passenger bus Wednesday morning in central Russian city, killing 8 people and injuring more than 50. Every 3 seconds, somewhere in the world, someone dies of starvation. What do you think our minds are predicting from these headlines? I mean, what future would you predict from these news stories? Not good, you know. Our automatic ability to predict consequences is creating a frightful future. And what do you do when something frightens you? You look away. You know, Paul Atreides, who's a character in Frank Herbert's Dune, he sums it up. He says, fear is the mind killer. And I've never been a big fan of Isaac Newton or mathematics, but Newton's first law of motion is about as basic as you can get on understanding prediction. He says, an object at rest tends to stay at rest, and an object in motion tends to stay in motion with the same speed and same direction unless it's acted upon by an outside force. I mean, to paraphrase him, he says, things keep on doing what they're doing unless someone interferes. And if we keep on going the way we're going, we'll keep on experiencing what we're experiencing. And if we keep on going long enough, it's almost certain that someday we're going to arrive somewhere. But is it going to be anywhere that anyone wants to be? Now, the more apprehensive our attitude becomes about the future, the more attention we transfer to the past. I mean, you don't really need attention on the past. In fact, you can just take your rear view mirror and throw it out the window. Nothing is going to catch up and try to pass you. Yet the more frightening we imagine the future, the more we turn and look at the past. You can't drive forward while looking backward. Our ability to predict forward is still operating, but we kind of choose to ignore it or to invalidate it. Fear is the mind killer. And the past may be painful, but at least it's familiar. And if you try to predict what's going to happen 10 years from now, it will almost certainly scare you. It's better to stick with what's already happened. It's easy to predict what's already happened. So instead of looking forward into a frightening future, Some of us dwell in the past, and the past is full of injuries, excuses, losses. Why do we save this stuff? I just don't know. But we do. What good is it? Answer, it shows us that it wasn't our fault. Researchers have estimated that over 25% of all people will experience chronic depression in the next decade. Hey, if I thought about the past all day, I'd be depressed too. We need to brighten up the future a little. And the world at its worst needs us at our best. And we can do something about the future. If the direction of world events frightens you, just stop for a minute and decide, where would you rather go? The next minute is the first minute of the rest of the future. And time is always pulling you forward, so it's either pulling you towards something you want or something you don't want. And the thing we need to realize is that we are downstream from the past, but we're upstream from the future. We don't need to let the future evolve out of present events. We are Newton's outside force, and we can change the direction of the future. Consciousness is our gift, and we've generally used it in competitive, brutish ways, but we can also use it in wise and compassionate ways. How about if we set some worthwhile goals for society? Things like, everyone's basic needs are met, no one goes hungry. We teach our children that sharing is more fun than accumulating, that cooperating is more fun than competing, and that honesty is better than pretense. And we learn to satisfy ourselves with reasonable wants that do not contribute to anyone's suffering, including future generations. We set up avatar boot camps that experientially teach people how to conduct efficient and peaceful social interactions. Nations can become internally harmonious by following the direction of their wisest members rather than the richest or the most popular. The first bylaw of every group should be respect everyone. Social justice systems can be created that correct with education and rehabilitation. Prisons can be turned into schools. And instead of raping the planet of her natural resources, which we will soon exhaust, we develop self-sustaining resources, and we take a solemn pledge to pass to the next generation the planet in better shape than we found it. We can do that. And this is only the beginning. This is the next moment. We're all in this together, and with a little boldness, we can evolve into wiser, more compassionate beings. And we can use our prediction skills to plan backwards from worthwhile goals until we come to a step that we can do tomorrow. This is wisdom.